So this episode's gonna be about reeling and dealing. Oh, hey you, this is me, A.D. Ross with Navi Outdoors. It's a pleasure having you today. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back to us, welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have smiling faces watching these videos. Not that I can see you or anything, but that's neither here nor there. So the last video we covered was selecting our first rod. So in this video, naturally, we're gonna have to pick up ourselves a new reel. And that's a whole lot of fun when you get down to it, buddy. But we're going to go over some of the basics when you're looking for your first reel. So in order to buy a reel that's appropriate for the application you're going to be using it for, you want to make sure it matches up nicely to that rod you just picked up. Now, you ain't going to want to get something too heavy and, bomb-proof, so to speak, if you got something in between, like a nice little medium beginner rod. And you ain't gonna want to get something too light and dinky that it's just gonna look like a little, I don't know, like a little game, like a little toy, something there. Anyways, so we got something right there in between. And I tell you, I got pretty lucky when I matched these things up because they just fit together like butter and, Chinese food. I don't know. But I picked up a Quantum Optics 40. So that's right there in between. I believe there's a 40, a 60, and an 80. I could be wrong though. I'm a Navi here too, but I'll have to look back on that one for you. But this one's a Quantum Optics 40. So when I looked at these, it just fit nicely to that rod I picked up. So that inshore ugly stick model. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over some of the characteristics of this reel, and just talk about it for a little bit. Now, this has a gear ratio of 5 to 2 to 1. Now, I don't want to get you guys confused and go over too much of that information because this is going to be a quick video to going over the purchase of the new reel to go along with our rod. So, this one, the characteristics of this, now you got this little metal piece here that's going to be on every reel, and you want to pay attention to it. Now, this is your bail, okay? So, it opens and closes. Now this is going to assist you in letting that line out and bringing it back in. So pay attention to that bail that you got going on there. This up here is going to be the drag setting. Now you're going to be able to tighten that down and loosen it up depending on how tight you want your drag on. That's time for another video. But tighten that down, loosen that up. This is going to keep the line from coming off your reel quickly and give the fish a little bit to work for, okay? So the next thing we got down here is a little clutch. All right, it flips back and forth like that. So that allows you to reel out and reel in, reel out, reel in, reel out, reel in. All right, you get the picture there. So I like to keep that closed because, when it's open, it allows you to pull some of that line off the reel so you can manipulate your lures or whatever you got to do there without having to open that bail. So it's important you keep that closed. You want it going one direction, which is pulling that line back on that reel when you got yourself a big one, reeling them through the weeds or wherever you're reeling them through. But anyways, now we're just going to pop this on our rod, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and grab my rod. Y'all stay right there. Don't move. All right, here we go. All right, now I got my rod. So if you remember correctly, this is a flush little area here we got to work with. You got some little pieces sticking out here. So this is where we're going to seat our reel, okay? So we want to make sure it's facing forward. Let me get my tongue untied here. So we want to face it forward. We're going to slide this right up here into these little nooks and crannies. Slide that right up in there. Now hold on to it. Hold on to it. And now we're gonna tighten this down a little bit. Now don't go too tight because you don't want to be ripping threads off these new rods. Those, it's nice buying rods and whatnot, but we don't want to be dropping dollars like that when we're just getting started, okay? So we're gonna tighten this up to the reel. Now hold on here. Almost there. Getting closer. All right, we're getting it nice and snug here. So, like I said, just nice and snug. You don't want to be too loose because you don't want to be dropping that reel in the water or wherever you're at on the ground in front of you, getting all dirty and whatnot, even though these things can go through heck and back. But you want to make it nice and snug. Now that we're nice and snug on there, we are ready to rock and roll, buddy. Now the next thing to do go on with this is throwing some line on that reel, but that's due for a new video after this one. So follow these things in succession. If you haven't seen the one prior in the rod selection, I invite you to look at that one. If you find what you're looking for in these videos to be appropriate, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and maybe that little bell down there to let you know every time we release one of these videos, because buddy, I promise you ain't gonna want to miss these upcoming videos or the previous ones, really, because it's a good time and that's what we're here for. So Navi Outdoors is all for beginners, and like I said, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications if you want to. That's totally up to you. I'm gonna leave it out in your ballpark there. All right, but that's all we got for today. The next video, like I said, we're gonna be throwing line on that reel, buddy. So just stay tuned. Come back and see us now. We appreciate you for stopping by, and that's gonna wrap it up. That's gonna wrap it up for this one. Thanks for coming by, y'all. Had a good time.